So, self reliancy, it's a good topic. How to become more self reliant. So, first of all, we need to define what self reliant really means. And I'm going to give my definition here. You don't have to agree with it. This is what I am going to be talking about in this video. So, to be self reliant is to have a sense of comfort within yourself. It's to be secure within yourself. It's to know that doesn't matter if you're gonna be alone or with another person or whatever, you are going to be okay. You are gonna be able to handle your life and yourself. Self-reliancy is a very good quality to have in your life because it allows you to go and do whatever you think you need to do without this constant self-critique of thinking about what other people think, worrying about that. It becomes very more clear life because it's not there isn't this noise, which is this those thought patterns that try to prevent you from going forward, basically, because it gets you stuck in a worrisome loop, you know. And I'm sharing my personal experience here. I've become pretty comfortable with being alone, right? Too comfortable. And there are many reasons for that, but it's also a word of caution to say that sometimes you can go into the other direction and you start to try to basically put yourself inside a cave and never come out because you don't want to deal with other people's needs and wants. It's a good way to get you stuck as well, because if you become too self-reliant, I mean, you can never become too self-reliant, but if you start to use that as an excuse to not engage with the world, the probability is that you are going to actually be running away from what people trigger in you with their actions. Does that make sense? So yeah, maybe you don't want to go out with your parents because they don't get you or whatever, but maybe you're not going because they make you look at stuff within yourself that you forgot was there, and then you got mad because you realized you just still have some growth to do. So as you can see, it doesn't matter the path. uh, Going through this process is going to inevitably make you self-reliant. And what do I mean by this? I say inevitable because, for example, the words that I'm saying, if you are hearing them and that is making sense to you, maybe after now you're going to, for example, make new choices in your life. And with this, you're going to inevitably run through things that are going to trigger you and bring emotional responses. Now, it is up to you to notice those emotional triggers and just realize them and understand them. And with that, you can choose to act differently. You can choose to notice the pattern and not act on it anymore. And that, my friend, is what is going to allow you to transcend it. And once you transcend that, you're going to become more self-reliant because here's the thing: self-reliancy is a quality that you cultivate, but it's not something like you say, okay, I'm gonna rely on myself right now, I'm gonna be confident in myself. No, that's not how it works. How do you actually become reliant on yourself and confident? It is by understanding the process that you have been going through, and it is about realizing and having the confidence in, for example, the knowing that if push comes to shove, if you encounter an emotional situation, you're going to be able to deal with it because that is something that you have already done in the past. So you need to have this report to be able to rely on. You need to have this spiritual resume that you create by putting yourself out there. It's very easy to become a hermit, right? It has its purpose, yes, but are you really, too spiritual for other people, or are you actually uh, distancing yourself from the common person because, again, you think you are better than them, when in fact that could be just a protection that you have put around yourself in order to not look at the deepest parts of your shadow of yourself. Something to think about, huh? So maybe the answer is out there, and this does not mean that you need to exacerbate your appearance outside externally. It does not mean that you need to put yourself out there to the maximum extent of your energy. No, just means that you can catch yourself thinking that you are superior to other people and that they don't deserve your energy, or you don't deserve their bad energy, right? Those are all thought concepts that we continue to experience instead of the present moment. It just means that you can look at yourself deeper and deeper every day. That way, you are inevitably going to become more self reliant.